Shaggy, wine up loose. Rasta Ozzy, take up Rusty. Mash down Alfie, ransom head. Mystic Boxy. Rough up the session. Rough up, profit and rough it up. Rough up the session. Rough up, profit and rough it up. Rough up the session. Rough up, profit and rough it up. Rough up the session. Rough up. Ah boy.
It's always a better choice. My one and only.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DIC, recommends the development of a formal national immigration strategy to address challenges of labor shortages in Dominica. In news from the region, Cuba blames U.S. sanctions for payment system disruption. And internationally, U.S. House votes to limit further military action against Iran. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
Welcome back. The Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DIC, has recommended the development of a formal national immigration strategy to address challenges of labor shortages in Dominica. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DIC, is Natasha Eloyd Labad.
One of the things that the membership put forward were informal immigration flows, for example, from Haiti. These are not particularly optimally organized, where workers who cannot bring their families do not settle long term, and so they continue to remit funds abroad rather than spending locally, reducing economic multiplier effects. So the recommendations would be to develop a formal national immigration strategy with clear legal pathways and integrating support for family settlement provisions. There are other recommendations under this point, which relates to organizing and regularizing the Haitian immigration community through a formal skills mapping and settlement program. Solid waste management is an issue that came up. The DIC did in 2025 recommend a garbage disposal fee on the Duasco bill, and that is something that has again been brought up and is being again submitted as part of the recommendations and suggestions by the Chamber.
Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DIC, Natasha Eloyd Labad. Domlec is reporting that electricity service has been restored to most areas across the island following the island-wide outage this afternoon. The outage was triggered by a trip at the geothermal power plant, resulting in the total collapse of the electricity system. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Electricity Services Limited, Domlec, is Iola George.
Domlec advises customers that electricity service has been restored to most areas across the island following the island-wide outage which occurred
just before 12 noon today. The outage was triggered by a trip at the geothermal power plant, resulting in the total collapse of the electricity system. Restoration efforts commenced immediately, with generation units at the Fokole power station being brought online to power the network. Power was then restored in phases from both the Fokole and Sugarloaf power stations. The Sugarloaf power station is located in the north in Portsmouth. This allowed communities to be progressively re-energized as the system conditions permitted. We are pleased to report that service has now been restored to all areas, with the exception of the section from Picard to T-Bay in the Portsmouth area, and that area should have service by about 6 p.m. today. Domlec sincerely apologizes for the inconvenience caused by this interruption and thanks customers across the island for their patience, their understanding, and their cooperation throughout the restoration process. We also wish to thank our operators, line crews, engineers, and support staff who worked diligently to safely restore service as quickly as possible. Thanks also goes out to the staff at the geothermal plant for their collaboration with us in ensuring that all restoration to the grid was done safely. This is a monumental national project that clearly comes with challenges. We're continually learning and working to improve and to avoid similar occurrences in the future, in the near or in the long-term future. We are at the final stages of commissioning, and we hope during the month of June to have continuous geothermal energy generation in anticipation of commercial operations. This is our path to energy independence and energy stability.
Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Electricity Services Limited, DOMLEC, Ayola George. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has appealed to developed countries to enable Caribbean nations to secure funding for climate-related projects through the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center. Mr. Skerrit says Caribbean islands have the capacity to develop and implement these projects through regional agencies. He adds that this approach will reduce the time it takes for countries to benefit from such projects.
I believe the developers must understand and appreciate that we in the Caribbean, if given opportunity, we have the capacity to implement our projects and our programs, our strategic plans, our national plans. And I believe that the case that we've been making, that the 5 Cs is a responsible institution with clear goals and mission, and with a very profound depth of capacity and knowledge and skills, that we don't have to go to the Green Climate Fund for the funds. The funds should be with the 5 Cs. The 5 Cs should have the funds. The funds should be deposited in the 5 Cs. And so the project is conceptualized nationally with the help of the 5 Cs technical arm, and they have the financing. Because the point which Mr. Grove, who is the chairman of the Good Hope Village Council, pointed out how long it took. So you're talking about 8 hurricane seasons, you understand? Because disasters are not good for anyone anymore. And no longer can we say we have a hurricane season because storms come at any time of the year. And you have to continually responding. This storm you spoke about in 2022, we paid over $4.6 million just clearing landslides. And this one we had recently is going to cost us more. So these are monies that could have been used otherwise.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. A call for the introduction of a tax on alcoholic beverages and tobacco for sports development in Dominica. President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, made the call during the budget consultation last night.
First and foremost, I'd like to publicly thank the government for the subvention that the Dominica Athletics Association received this year of $30,000. That went directly towards our grassroots program, where we reached about 400 students across the country and introduced them to the sport of athletics. However, we want to sustain that, that subvention and actually increase it annually. And one way the Athletics Association sees that is through imposition of a tax. That would be on alcoholic beverages and tobacco. And the reason why we target the alcoholic beverage and tobacco, from the period January 2024 to December 2025, according to the ECCB, Dominica imported, the value of importation of alcohol and tobacco was $50.17 million. And if we can at least get 1% on the value of imports of alcohol and tobacco, that would go directly into sports. It would be beneficial for all sporting entities. I'm not just speaking about athletics, but all sporting entities. And that would be about, let's say we say 1% tax, that would be about $500,000 across that period. So it's just, thanking for the subvention, but also a way to make it sustainable for the years to come.
President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams. Ferry services to Dominica have returned to normal following a disruption on Tuesday caused by a strike by fishermen in Guadeloupe, which blocked the port of Pointe-à-Pitre. Hans Victor, the assistant manager of the shipping department at HHV Wichurch and Company Limited, says FRS L'Express des Îles vessel arrived in Dominica on Wednesday.
So we are pleased to report that pursuant to the recent strike actions by the fisherfolk in Guadeloupe that interrupted our ferry services on Tuesday, we are pleased to report that the matter was resolved. The ferry services were resumed yesterday, as I mentioned previously. So the vessel came in Wednesday morning from Guadeloupe, went on to Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, and it came back in the evening from St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, then to Guadeloupe. So we are pleased that whatever the issue was with the fisherfolk in Guadeloupe, that it was able to be resolved in that quick time. So as it is right now, our ferry services has resumed to normal programming. So today, the normal schedule was that today there will be no vessel, and tomorrow, Friday, June 5th, we will have one vessel from Guadeloupe leaving at 7:30 to be in Dominica for 10 and to continue on to Martinique and St. Lucia.
Assistant Manager of the Shipping Department of HHV Wichurch and Company Limited, Hans Victor. The Paybush Primary School has emerged the winner of the 15th edition of the Creole Spelling Bee competition. The competition, which took place today, was hosted by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with KEC.
There were 4 students who participated in the finals of the Spelling Bee. Yanel Antoine of Ben's Primary. We had Abdiel Andrew of Paybush Primary, Diamante Warrington of St. Luke's Primary, and Chloe Roberts of Penville Primary. The competition was won by Abdiel Andrew of the Paybush Primary School. This made it the 8th time that the school has won since the beginning of the Spelling Bee. The second place was captured by Diamante Warrington of the St. Luke's Primary School. St. Luke's Primary School won last year. The last time we had the Spelling Bee, which was in 2024. There was no Spelling Bee in 2025. And then the third place was Chloe Roberts from the Penville Primary School. And then the fourth place was Yanel Antoine from the Ben's Primary School. All in all, the Creole Spelling Bee went very, very well. The students were exceptional spellers, and because of that, we were able to realize the importance of teaching of Creole in our schools. We realized that more Creole should be taught and that more emphasis should be placed on the Creole language, which is basically our mother tongue. And if we don't play that emphasis, if we don't play an important role in ensuring, as a Ministry of Education, that Creole continues to thrive within our primary and our secondary schools, we may lose that language. We just want to congratulate all the schools who participated, our 4 final schools, and especially our winner for 2026 from the Paybush Primary School, Abdiel Andrew.
Modern Languages Coordinator in the Ministry of Education, Charlene White Christian. Over 500 Dominican farmers are to benefit from the $25 million Dominica Community Resilience Enhancement Project launched on Wednesday. Minister for Agriculture Roland Royer says the project, funded by the Green Climate Fund, will greatly complement ongoing initiatives to build resilience in the agriculture sector.
In practical terms, this project means that more than 520 farmers and agro-processors will receive direct support through intervention specifically designed to improve resilience and productivity. This includes improved planting materials better suited for changing climate conditions, irrigation systems and rainwater harvesting infrastructure that reduce dependence on increasingly unpredictable rainfall, as well as greenhouses, shade houses, water storage systems, and support for agro-processing infrastructure that allows for producers to strengthen operations and create greater value for what they produce. So I must note that out of the $24 million US, 17 million US is allocated for agriculture. We do not have to look very far into the past to understand why projects like this matter, because even now we are supporting farmers in communities across the East and Northeast whose crops and livestock were badly affected following the drought system of April 26, reminding us once again how quickly weather events can disrupt lives and threaten food production.
Minister for Agriculture, Roland Royer. The Ministry of Education, in its ongoing effort to strengthen technical and vocational education and training throughout the education system, will host a TVET showcase at the ground floor of the government headquarters on Friday. The event is set to commence at 9 a.m. Octavia Alfred is Minister for Education.
The objectives of the events are to highlight the outstanding work, creativity, innovation, and technical competencies of students and teachers across various TVET disciplines, to foster a greater appreciation for TVET within schools and the wider community, and to continue to honor government's commitments to strengthening the sector and ensuring nationwide access to quality skill training opportunities as we prepare our people to serve in major capital projects being undertaken. The general public is invited to view and to purchase. You will also be able to place your orders for items, and they will be delivered, since students will not be able to bring everything they have to this event.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Cuba is losing one of its main international payment systems. The country's central bank announced that starting June 6, transactions using Visa and MasterCard will no longer be processed through the existing settlement scheme. The reason is the decision of a foreign bank that serviced these transactions for the Cuban state financial company. The name of the bank is not officially disclosed. However, Cuban authorities state that the decision is related to new U.S. sanctions. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump has hit back at lawmakers who voted to send him a rebuke over the war in Iran, labeling the group unpatriotic. On Wednesday, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a measure that seeks to halt Trump from taking further military action. BBC's U.S. correspondent Tom Simons said this is likely to be a symbolic vote by the House of Representatives.
What's happened is that 4 Republicans have voted in favor of this resolution to tell Donald Trump to stop the war in Iran. Now, the problem is that this is not the sort of resolution that is legally binding, and it has to go to the Senate, and there of course, it might be defeated by the rest of the Republican Party in the Senate. If it was a legally binding agreement or resolution, it would have to go to the president, and of course he would veto it, and then it would go back to both houses of Congress and they would get a chance to vote again, and if they voted two-thirds by majority, then they could overturn the veto. But none of that is going to happen because this is not that sort of congressional resolution.
BBC's US correspondent Tom Simmons. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Welcome to this evening's Sport Report. The Dominica Netball Association will welcome a BVI Netball Club to Dominica from June 11th to the 16th. That's according to the president of the Dominica Netball Association, Colita Hamilton, who said a series of friendlies will take place between the BVI club and clubs here on island.
The Dominican Netball Association is pleased to announce the upcoming visit of the BVI Netball Club for a series of friendly matches from June 13 to 15, 2026 at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The match schedule is as follows. Saturday, June 12 at 6:30 p.m., Celtics will play BVI Netball Club. Sunday, June 14 at 4:30 p.m., Spartanites will play Northeast Comprehensive under 16, and that same day at 6 p.m., Bambish 212s from Castle Bruce will play the BVI Netball Club. On Monday, June 15, from 6 p.m., Spartans 1 will play the BVI Netball Club. This is a fundraising activity, and so an entry fee of $5 is charged for patrons 12 years and up. We look forward to 3 days of exciting competition, friendship, and sportsmanship.
President of the Dominican Netball Association, Colita Hamilton. West Indies ODI captain Shea Hope says the Windies will need to be sharper in all three areas of the game if they are to bounce back in their ODI series with Sri Lanka. The Windies went down in the first ODI on Wednesday in Jamaica. The two sides will meet again on Saturday.
All three areas of the game, we could have been a lot stronger, especially in the fielding department. Bowlers probably could have bowled a lot tighter lines, especially start the innings. We know the Sri Lankan batters tend to prey on that width that we tend to give them. So we got to tighten up the lines in the next game. And then obviously in the field, we gave a chance first ball of the game. So we know when you give great players the opportunity to go again, it's always going to be difficult you're going to put yourself on the bat for every single time when you're going to be playing catch up. And then with the bat, there's certain areas that we could have been a lot more clinical. The openers got off to a great start once again, and then we just keep finding ways to get out. Just got to take more responsibility as batters and take the game as deep as we can and find ways to win games from any position. So all in all, I just feel as though we needed to tighten up in all three areas.
Yeah, looking ahead to the second game now, obviously you want to put this game behind you. Haven't lost at home for a long time. What will it be to the guys to just put this game aside and focus on the next one?
That's exactly what you have to do. You need to put it away. You can't change anything that's happened. What's gone is gone. The past is the past. You just got to look ahead and ensure that all the learnings we gather from this particular encounter, we got to turn things around as fast as we can learn. Especially with the conditions and the way how they go about bowling in different phases and how the batters tend to play against our bowlers. We got to keep talking, keep communicating, and then ensure that we have all the right remedies to come out victorious next game and then make it to one at the end of the series.
West Indies ODI captain Shea Hope. Meantime, the West Indies women are the winners of the Ivara Women's T20 Tri-Series. The final match between Ireland women and Pakistan women ended today with an abandoned result due to persistent rain. The West Indies women finished with a higher net run rate over Ireland women to win the series. West Indies clinched the Tri-Series title with 2 wins and 10 points from their 4 matches. Ireland also had 10 points and Pakistan finished with 2 points. Defending Dominica Cricket Association NCCU Premier League champions, the KFC Summit Sports Club will be gunning for their second win in as many matches as that league continues on Saturday. Meantime, there is also a clash between the undefeated Najiko Northern Stars and Kalinago Blasters. Cricket Association's PRO or Public Relations Officer Kimara Ito has the story.
Tremors versus Grand Bay Cooperative Credit Union Colts at the Grand Bay playing field. Tremors will be seeking a return to winning ways following their defeat to KFC Summit Sports Club, while the Colts will look to bounce back after falling to the Simon Kalinago Blasters. Then there will be Convenience Plus Maho and KFC Summit Sports Club at the Benjamin's Park. KFC Summit Sports Club enters the contest with confidence after a commanding victory over Tremors, highlighted by outstanding performances by Calvin Hodge. Convenience Plus Maho will be eager to secure their first win after suffering defeat to Najiko Northern Star Sports Club. Then at the Botanic Gardens, the Simon Kalinago Blasters versus Najiko Northern Star Sports Club. The matchup of the weekend pits two unbeaten sides against each other. The Simon Kalinago Blasters, fresh from their victory, will face Najiko Northern Star Sports Club. Matches begin at 1 p.m. on Saturday, 6 June and at 10 a.m. on Sunday, 7th June.
Public Relations Officer for the Dominica Cricket Association, Kimara Ito. 16 wickets fell on the opening day of the first test between England and New Zealand, and things are interestingly poised heading into day 2 of that match. New Zealand fast bowler Kyle Jamieson picked up 5 for 62 as New Zealand bowled England out for just 140. Nathan Smith picked up 3 for 38. Only Harry Brook stood out for England with a score of 56. New Zealand in reply encountered problems with Ollie Robinson. He picked up 4 for 10 to leave New Zealand scrambling at 61 for 6 at stumps on day 1. The scores so far in the first test: England 140 and New Zealand 61 for 6. New Zealand trails by 79 runs. And Shaheen Shah Afridi and Babar Azam starred as Pakistan picked up a 4-wicket win over Australia in the third ODI on Thursday to take a 2-1 series win. Australia were bundled out for 157 batting first. Josh Inglis got 65. Shaheen Shah Afridi took 3 for 30 and Abra Ahmed 2 for 19. Pakistan, needing 158, reached 161 for 6. Babar Azam top scored a 40. Matthew Kuhneman took 3 for 38. Pakistan won by 4 wickets and won the series 2-1. In volleyball, the race for playoff positions in the 2026 KFC Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association's National Volleyball League is intensifying as teams across all 3 divisions continue their push for semi-final qualification. DAVA Public Relations Officer Sidney John says the competition has been highly competitive, with teams delivering exciting performances as the regular season approaches its conclusion.
So, the league has been very, very competitive. Games have been intense, and the action is picking up, and we're getting towards the end of the regular season. We have 3 divisions in the league. We have the men's Division 2, we have the women's division, and we have the men's Division 1. In the men's Division 1 right now, we have Club 1A top in the standings, having won 3 out of their 3 games without losing a set. We have the Club 1B team in second place, winning 2 games and losing 1. We have the R&D Academy tied on points in third place, Breakers in fourth place, Sunrise in fifth, and KP Tacklers, the new team in the league, or returning to the league, in sixth place. In the women's division, we have Acers. Despite losing a game, they are in first place. We have Sunrise, Celtics, and Club 1 all tied with 6 points. Sunrise edges them out to second place, Celtics third, and Club 1 fourth. And we have R&D Academy in fifth place, and Zebians, one of the newer teams as well, in sixth place. In the men's Division 1, we have Club 1 being undefeated with 9 points at the top of the table. We have Sunrise, Young Vets, and R&D Academy all tied on 3 points, but with Sunrise in second place, Vets in third place, and R&D in fourth, and we have Celtics in fifth place. So the action is underway. We have teams that are very close to qualifying for the semifinals, and so we look forward to the last set of games coming over the next few weeks to determine who the top 4 is.
Public Relations Officer for the Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association, Sydney John. The National Volleyball League continues on the weekend with 3 matches scheduled for the Windsor Park. Sunrise will take on R&D Academy in the men's Division 2 from 4 p.m. on Saturday, while at 6 in the women's division, Sunrise will also take on R&D Academy. The night will close with a clash between the two teams in the men's division from 8 p.m. Club 1 and Celtics will take on each other in a doubleheader on Sunday at the Massac Indoor Sports Facility beginning at 6 p.m. Windsor Park Stadium manager Gafford Joseph has described the successful lighting of all 4 lighting structures at the stadium as a major step towards the full reintroduction of night sports at the facility. All 4 structures were successfully turned on for the first time last night during a visit with cabinet and government officials. Joseph says the stadium will soon head into the next phase, which is preparations for the commissioning of the project.
It's long awaited for. It is a promise made by the government of Dominica, and it's a promise kept. I had no doubt it would come, and everybody's anticipating it, and we are very, very pleased that the lighting is actually on. And we've been looking forward to it, and we are thrilled. Everybody's thrilled and excited. As for me personally, being, on the grounds right there, I know what it was like, from day one when the post dropped, and how we've been looking forward to it. And I'm very, very excited that we can actually have lights to have international games and other major national events. So I'm very pleased about that. And I think most of us want to take the opportunity to thank the government of Dominica for giving the stadium this priority. I had no doubt that they would deliver, and I'm very pleased about that.
And the Lotteries Commission for making this project possible.
All right. The lighting came at a cost, so however, we saw the ground has been damaged as a result. As the manager of the stadium, what are some of the plans that we can expect as we look towards rehabilitating the grounds?
Well, the thing is that the plan was always to rehabilitate the grounds, but nothing could have been done because the main the priority was the lighting, and there was a lot of activity happening on the field which we couldn't attend to for that reason. But now that the field is actually cleared up, the poles are up and so on, our plan is to rehabilitate it totally, but not at this moment. So we're going to do just some remedial works, some slight rehabilitation, get the field like in a reasonable play-ready condition. That will look good. Actually, we're supposed to be doing the commissioning of the lights at some time later this month. So, but that is the plan. It will be doing that. We have a lot of cleanup to do, so we'll be attending to that. So as of early as next week, we'll be doing definitely some serious cleaning up, and then start working on the outfield to have it looking like not totally how we would want it to be, because right now we cannot really do that. We'll leave that for later, but we're going to put it in a position where it will look reasonable and presentable.
Windsor Park Stadium manager Gafford Joseph. Well, that's all the time for this evening's Sport Report. I've been the presenter of the Sports Report, Arlian Christopher, on behalf of the entire News and Sports Department, and our links person this evening, Joseph Fadul, for saying good evening.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 4th day of June 2026. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Minetta Agnesia Harper Stevens, age 79, of Marigot. She died on Saturday, the 25th of April, 2026. She is survived by her husband, Williamson, Walsam Stevens, her children, Cassandra, and that should be Sandra Sinclair, Carl Stevenson, Danny Williamson, Stevens, Corinne Bay, and Lucy Oldecare. Grandchildren, Tisha Richards, Kyle Joseph, Preston Bay, Dion and Sia Nelson, Adrian and Amina Odal Cray, Wilma, Rima, Elisa, Nyan, Carlson, Carly, and Carlene Stevens. Great-grandchildren, Anaya, Keon, Layla, Quinton, Mackay. Sisters, Mary Lou Joseph, Glenda Tyson, Vilna Henry, Agonis, Harper, Andre, and their families. Brothers, Austin, Holland, Kelbert, Dale, Ronnie, and Wellborn Harper and their families. Sons-in-law, Norman Sinclair and Abishai Oldecare.